And I'm starting to think that my grandma's in trouble.
Who's ready to celebrate?
I'm gonna make sure you don't go down.
To our future.
General Hospital.
The storm over Spoon Island had a personality of its own that night. Dramatic, relentless, almost theatrical, as if the sky itself sensed that secrets were about to break free from the walls of Windemere. Lightning flashed across the dark water, illuminating the Gothic towers for a split second at a time, like a camera shutter capturing pieces of a scandal no one was prepared to see in full. Carly stood at the edge of the causeway, her heels abandoned somewhere behind her car, hair whipping wildly in the wind. She should have turned back. Any sane person would have, but Carly Spencer had never been accused of sanity when the truth or a threat to her family was involved. And tonight, the truth had a name: Willow. The massive doors of Windemere groaned open under her push, echoing into the cavernous foyer. The place smelled like dust, old wood, and a faint trace of roses, as if someone had tried to make the haunted mansion feel romantic and failed spectacularly. "Hello?" Carly called, her voice bouncing off the marble floors. "Anyone here, or do I have to start talking to portraits again?" A flicker of lightning revealed something that made her breath catch. A scarf. Pale blue. Silk. Willows. Carly crossed the foyer slowly, picking it up between her fingers. The fabric was still warm, as if it hadn't been dropped long ago. Her heart started to pound, not with fear, but with the unmistakable thrill of confirmation. She hadn't been imagining things. Willow had been here, at Windemere. Alone? With someone? Doing what? "Oh, Willow," Carly murmured, half exasperated, half disbelieving. "What are you hiding?" A soft thud echoed from deeper inside the mansion. Carly's head snapped up. "Okay," she said to herself, squaring her shoulders. "Haunted castle, thunderstorm, mysterious noises. Perfect. Just another Tuesday." She moved down the corridor, each step stirring dust motes that glimmered in lightning flashes through stained glass. Her pulse raced, not just with suspicion now, but something else, a strange, reluctant ache. Because if what she feared was true, the fallout wouldn't just be messy, it would be devastating. The door at the end of the hall stood slightly ajar, golden light spilling into the darkness. Carly approached slowly, hearing voices, low, intimate, unmistakably emotional. Willow's voice. "I didn't mean for any of this to happen," Willow said, her tone fragile and raw. "I thought I could keep it separate, that I could protect everyone." A man's voice answered softly. "You've been protecting everyone but yourself." Carly's stomach dropped. She pushed the door open. The scene froze. Willow stood near the fireplace, cheeks flushed, eyes shimmering with tears, and beside her, too close, too familiar, too undeniably charged, stood Drew. His hand hovered near Willow's cheek like he just brushed away a tear, or was about to. For a heartbeat, no one moved. The only sound was thunder rolling across the island. Carly's voice came out eerily calm. "Well," she said, lifting the scarf slightly, "I was wondering where this went." Willow went white. Drew stepped back instantly, guilt flickering across his face before he masked it with forced composure. "Carly," he began, "this isn't—" "Oh, please," Carly cut in, walking fully into the room. "I'm standing in a storm-lashed mansion, holding my son's wife's scarf, while you two look like you just got caught in the world's worst romance novel." Willow swallowed hard. "It's not what you think." Carly arched a brow. "Great, because what I think is that my son's wife and my whatever you are this week, friend, ex, emotional complication, are having secret meetings at Windemere, so I would love to hear the version that makes this wholesome." Willow's eyes filled with tears. "Carly, please, I never wanted to hurt Michael."
Then you picked a fascinating way to avoid it, Carly shot back, but her voice cracked on Michael's name. Drew stepped forward. "This is on me." Carly laughed, a sharp, disbelieving sound. "Oh, how noble! You seduced her, hypnotized her, slipped romantic poetry into her protein shakes?" Willow actually let out a weak, involuntary laugh at that, which only made the situation more surreal. Carly blinked. "Did you just laugh?" Willow covered her mouth, mortified. "I'm sorry, it's just protein shakes." "Wow," Carly said, shaking her head. "We're in catastrophic betrayal territory, and you're giggling. That's impressive." Willow took a shaky breath. "Carly, nothing physical has happened." Carly froze. Drew's jaw tightened. Willow closed her eyes, realizing what she'd just admitted. Carly's voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. "So there is something." Willow opened her eyes, tears spilling over. "We didn't plan it. We didn't want it. It just happened." Carly stared at both of them, the truth settling in like cold rain. Not an affair, not yet, but something almost worse. Feelings.
She exhaled slowly, turning away toward the fire. "You know what the problem is with secrets?" she said quietly. "They're like mold. They grow in dark places, and eventually they stink up everything." Willow's voice trembled. "I was trying to protect Michael." "By falling for his uncle?" Carly snapped, turning back. Willow flinched. Drew said softly, "Carly, please." "Don't you dare please me," Carly shot back. "Do you have any idea what this would do to him? To the kids? To everything?" Drew's eyes held hers. "That's why nothing happened." Carly studied him, really studied him, and saw it. The restraint, the guilt, the very real, very dangerous emotion he was trying to bury. "Oh my God," she breathed. "You love her." Silence detonated in the room. Willow looked at Drew, stunned. Drew didn't answer. He didn't need to. Carly pressed her hand to her forehead. "I leave you alone for 5 minutes and you fall in love with my daughter-in-law? That is next-level chaos, even for this family." Willow whispered, "I didn't mean to." Carly's laugh this time was softer, sadder. "Nobody ever means to, sweetheart. That's kind of love's entire brand." Willow's tears fell freely now. "I fought it. I avoided him. I tried to be the wife Michael deserves. But every time something happened, every crisis, every fear, I found myself wanting to talk to Drew. And he understood, and he listened, and he saw me." Drew's voice was low. "Because you deserve to be seen." Carly closed her eyes briefly. "Okay, I'm gonna need you both to stop saying painfully romantic things in front of me while my brain is still processing the apocalypse." Willow let out a watery laugh through tears, and for a bizarre second, the three of them stood there in a storm-lit Gothic room, suspended between heartbreak and absurdity. Carly opened her eyes again, gaze locking on Willow. "Does Michael know?" Willow shook her head instantly. "No, never. I would never tell him unless—" "Unless you actually cheat?" Carly finished flatly. "I would never." "People say that," Carly said quietly, "until they don't." Drew stepped forward again. "That's why we came here." Carly blinked. "You came to Haunted Castle Island to not cheat?" Willow nodded miserably. "We needed to talk somewhere no one would see us, somewhere separate, to end it." Carly stared. "End it?" Drew's voice was rough. Tonight was supposed to be goodbye. The words landed like falling stone. Willow's shoulders shook. "I told him I can't lose my marriage. I can't destroy Michael. I can't hurt you, Carly, your family. And I love Michael. I do." Carly studied her. "But?" Willow's whisper was barely audible. "But I'm in love with Drew, too."
The confession hung in the air, naked and devastating. Carly exhaled slowly, eyes glistening despite herself. Oh, Willow, you really went for maximum emotional destruction, didn't you? Willow gave a broken little smile. Apparently. Drew turned away, jaw clenched. It ends tonight. That's what we agreed. Carly looked at him. Can you? He didn't answer right away. When he did, his voice was steady, but it cost him. Yes. Willow looked at him, pain flaring. You don't have to sound so sure. If I don't, he said quietly, I won't survive it. Carly pressed her lips together, emotions warring inside her. Anger, hurt, pity, and something dangerously close to understanding. Because she knew what it was to love the wrong person at the wrong time. She stepped closer to Willow. Look at me. Willow did, trembling. Carly's voice softened. Have you kissed him? Willow hesitated, then shook her head. No. Carly's gaze shifted to Drew. You? Never, he said immediately. Carly studied them both and believed them. She let out a slow breath. Then here's the part where I say something very Carly and very inconveniently wise. Willow blinked through tears. Carly said, You stop seeing each other completely. No secret talks, no emotional confessions, no just friends nonsense. You grieve it like a breakup that never happened, and you recommit to your marriage. Willow whispered, I want to. Carly's eyes bored into her. Wanting isn't enough. Love is a choice, remember? You choose Michael every day, especially the days you don't feel it. Willow nodded, sobbing. I will, I swear. Carly turned to Drew. And you disappear. Drew met her gaze. Already planned. Carly frowned. Planned?
I'm leaving town, he said. Business expansion overseas. I pushed it up. I can't stay here and risk this. Willow's head snapped toward him. You didn't tell me that. His voice gentled. Because you would have tried to stop me. Her tears doubled. Of course I would. Carly exhaled. Well, that's dramatic, even for us. Drew almost smiled. Carly shook her head. You realize this is the most tragic, almost affair in Port Charles history. Willow let out a weak laugh. We're overachievers. Carly's expression softened fully now. She reached out and took Willow's hand. You're not a bad person for feeling this. You're human. Annoyingly human. Willow choked out. I hate that I hurt you. Carly squeezed her hand. You didn't act on it. That matters. A lot. Then she looked at Drew. You hurt me. He nodded. I know. Carly studied him, eyes bright. But you also stopped. That matters too. A fragile peace settled among them. Outside, thunder rolled farther away now, the storm beginning to break. Carly glanced between them and sighed. Okay, I'm going to say the thing no one wants to hear. Willow sniffed. What? Carly said, You two have ridiculous chemistry. They both froze. Carly threw up her hands. Don't look at me like that. I have eyes, and unfortunately, emotional intuition. Drew let out a helpless huff of laughter. Willow buried her face in her hands. This is mortifying. Good, Carly said. Mortification builds character. Then she stepped back, voice firm again. But chemistry isn't destiny. Choices are. And tonight, you both chose not to blow up our entire family. So, thank you. Willow whispered, I'm so sorry. Carly nodded once. I know. She turned toward the door, then paused. Oh, and for the record. They looked at her. If you ever meet secretly in a Gothic mansion again, Carly said, at least pick one with better lighting. This place is terrible for complexion. Willow actually laughed, full, shocked, tear-soaked laughter. Drew shook his head, smiling despite the ache. Carly gave them one last look, equal parts warning, forgiveness and fierce protectiveness. "Go home," she said softly to Willow. "To your husband." Willow nodded, clutching the scarf. "I will." Carly looked at Drew. "And you, go break your own heart somewhere else." He inclined his head. "Already in progress." Carly smirked faintly. "Good. We're very into self-sacrifice this season." She walked out, heels still abandoned, the storm easing around her. The truth had exploded, yes, but somehow, impossibly, the family might survive it. Behind her, in the fading firelight of Windemere, two people who almost chose each other stood apart at last, laughing weakly through tears at the absurd, romantic, ridiculous disaster they'd narrowly escaped, and knowing they would carry its echo forever. Because some love stories never happen, but they still change everything.
The only one who can give him what he needs right now.
The alternative to making this agreement was unacceptable. I had to put it to bed.
Why won't you let this go?
Just because you can do it. Maybe we should show him that by doing the opposite.
I just need to know how far you would go to protect her.
Now it's time to do it my way.